Stretch for us. We talked about 9 days, 3 wins, and the guys were able to do that, and they got 2 good days off, and coaches got to hit the road for some recruiting, in particular me, because I don't get out much when we're in season. So I don't know if coaches got rest, but players got some rest, and we've had a couple days, 2 or 3 days of really good practices, and we got 2 more before we hit the road. Very difficult stretch. This is, I think, we're one of about 3 teams that have our first 7 games, 5 of them are on the road. So you either can make hay and put yourself in a good situation, because you know that later on in February, those 7 games, 5 of them are going to be at home. And so this is a pivotal road trip for us, and we're playing 2 contrasting styles in Oregon State and Oregon. So it's going to be a big week.
How's the health of the team at this point?
Beat up a little bit, which is kind of surprising, because we didn't see any of that after the USC game. But obviously Tony still battling some back spasms, so he's kind of day to day, and we're working to see what's going to happen there. But I think other than Tony, everybody seems to be pretty good.
With the back spasms, is that similar to what he's kind of experienced throughout his career, or is it something that's a little different?
I don't know. He hasn't had much since I've been here with him. He hasn't had any really serious back problems at all since I've been here with him. So his freshman year, if he did, I wasn't here at that time. Last year, he didn't really have much. He never set out practice, never missed a game. So we just got to see. But, at 6'9", 255, 260, back spasm can be problematic. So we just wanted to get it calmed down before we get him back in there.
Did that flare up during the game?
No,
or
I had no issues during the game.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just over the weekend. It was over the weekend when it flared up. So his 2 days off were great. And then we got back together over the weekend and really only doing individual work. So it was non-contact stuff, and it flared up at that time.
Are you anticipating him being able to practice today or tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm not seeing anybody today. So he was day-to-day yesterday, and I'm sure he's going to be day-to-day tomorrow, and today and tomorrow. He'll probably be day-to-day, and it'll probably be a game-time decision on that.
Oregon State is 10-0 at home.
All right.
What do they do so well on that court?
Well, they really defend you, so here we are again in this tough stretch of really going against a lot of good defensive teams. You look at Alabama, you look at Kentucky, Gonzaga, Utah, Colorado. This has just been a really demanding stretch from really good defensive teams, and here comes another one. They're easily, right now I think they're ranked number 1 defensively in our league, and that's part of the reason why they've had a lot of success. They're going to throw a lot of zone at us and pressing. So you got to make some shots, and you got to take good shots and find ways of getting it inside. But they've been really good at home. Already gotten a win over Arizona at home. So this is a really good basketball team, especially in their building. And then 2 days later, not even 48 hours, you're getting a team in Oregon who wants it to be as fast as possible. So we're going to get contrasting styles in both games.
They seem to have kind of surpassed expectations this year. What is it that Coach Tinkle has done just in these 18 games or whatever?
That's hard, because I've only coached against him once when I was in New Mexico in the NCAA tournament, and he was a hard out then. I think he does a good job of controlling the game offensively and defensively. It's not going to be an up-tempo style. It's going to be very controlled. They want you to run clock on offense, and then they're going to run clock on offense. So you don't have as many possessions in the game. So it's a much more controlling, different type of style, and he does a really good job with it, and they've gotten out of the gate very well.
With that style and with Tony potentially hurting, is that where you kind of need Thomas to step up and have a big game?
Yeah, regardless, Thomas's development's got to continue, and we saw that against USC. I thought, it was his best game out of the 3 in this 3-game package, and we've been seeing it. Thomas is getting better and better, and if that's the case, if somebody is down, and it's not just Thomas, it's everybody that's got to pick up slack. If all of a sudden minutes are down for a certain individual, the next guy in's got to be able to play, and that's what you end up happening in January and February. We were very fortunate last year where we didn't get any injuries, and so if all of a sudden we've got one, we've got to be able to handle it and deal with it.
Is this a little bit more difficult of a next guy up situation, given that you guys don't really have the depth that you might have had last year?
Yeah, and not so much depth, it's just the youth. The depth last year was Zach, who was a lottery pick, both Zach and Bryce being all freshmen in the Pac-12, and Tony, who was only a sophomore, and yet I felt like those 3 had a lot more experience to them. We don't have a lot of experience on this bench, so they're all learning as they go here. And we had a lot more, I think, maturity even in the starting lineup last year to help that bench. So everybody's kind of growing at the same time, and we just want to see that growth continue, and we're seeing it in our entire bench from Tom to Gigi. Gigi's had a great stretch. Noah's doing the things we need for him to do as far as being a big guard that really works. I thought he was terrific in the Cal game. Those are the things that we got to see that bench continue to develop.
How much can you see the confidence of Gigi start to grow when he's on the court?
He's got great confidence everywhere except the free throw line. His confidence is great. I've told him, I said the next free throw, just step back and shoot a 3-point shot. So, but he's so fun to coach. We knew he had a great basketball skill when he got here. That's what we liked about him. His skill set was unbelievable. He can finish right, left-handed. He understands ball fakes, both from shooting and passing. He plays under control. He's going to be a really good stretch forward down the road because you're seeing it already how he can shoot the 3 ball. But he will develop into a dribble drive guy as well. Great passing big man, and we use a lot of our offense changes a little bit when he comes in, and we run through him a lot just because he can really pass the ball. So he's getting bigger and stronger. Wes has done a great job with him over the summer. So as the years go by, he's going to continue to get better and better.
I know when you first saw him, I don't think you guys were there to see him, right? You just saw him watching another guy. That was right. With Gigi?
No, we actually went in to see him, and then obviously saw Prince at the same time. Yeah. But so that's ironic that all of a sudden then Prince decommits and we get a chance to get 2 from that same high school. But no, we went down to Sagemont to see him because we know the coach well, and he told us about him, just about an incredible skill set. He was about $195. And that's what Gigi has done a really good job of. He's like 205, 210 now. So I think as we sit here next year, hopefully we got somebody that's 220, and he just continues to work on his strength, and his body will continue to mature because his skill set's tremendous.
How much more comfortable have you seen him get just with the team and all that? Obviously, he hasn't been in the U.S. for very long.
No, he's been tremendous. I've told Coach Ross, the high school coach, the same thing. He and Tony rival being, the clowns and the jokers on the team. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of that in the recruiting process because he was very quiet. But the guys would tell you it's hard to get Gigi to be quiet. I mean, he's a very outgoing personality, and this team needs that. I don't say that negatively. The team needs it. He's fun to coach. He's a happy guy. He's got a good demeanor to him, and I like to kid him a little bit just because at the free throw line, if we need for him at least become a 10% foul shooter. So we're just looking for a little bit of growth at the free throw line.
Have you guys gotten any update on Jonah at all in terms of?
We're waiting. Hopefully we get some news here very quickly. He's done everything he was supposed to do, and we're hopeful that we're going to get good news here anytime. But we're really waiting on the NCAA to be able to see everything, and hopefully he'll be cleared for practice.